What's up, guys? LJ Crypto back with another video. If you like my content, please subscribe, hit the share, like, and comments button, and always know that it is my goal to help you become financially free through the crypto market. So let's get started. In this video, I want to talk about what I believe is the best crypto in the market as of today. Um, I truly believe that this crypto HEX, there is no better coin in the market than this. So let's jump into what HEX is. So HEX is the very first certificate of deposit. If you don't know what, first off, I want to say that HEX was created by a guy named Richard Hart, and he made the first certificate of deposit in the crypto market. And certificate of deposit is basically something that is given to you by banks. And basically, what you are allowed to do is that you can put in a certain amount of money. You allow yourself to um, decide how long you want to accumulate interest off that money, days, months, years. Um, and HEX is the first crypto to imitate that same idea. Except HEX, the interest that you get off of HEX is much, 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 much higher than what you will ever get from a bank. Also, it being uh, a lot more centralized. Yup, HEX is the first crypto to imitate the blockchain. I'm sorry, the certificate of deposit. Um, One of the things that HEX can do that no other crypto can in the market is that you are allowed to stake your HEX up to 15 years. And yeah, HEX is the only, HEX is proof of stake, and that's the only proof of stake coin that allows you to do that. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. Also, HEX, I don't think there's any crypto that's went up 352x the first year it was made. HEX, it was made in December 12th of 2019, and at the time of this recording, it is March of 2021. So yeah, I don't think there's any coin that's went up as much as HEX. And HEX is, I know this says number 15 in market cap, but if we look on nomics, okay, so if we look on nomics, HEX is, as of right now, number 16 in market cap. So yeah, that's pretty close to number 15, but very amazing that this coin is among the top 20 with it only being out for a year. Also, if you want to look at HEX real market cap, you want to be on nomics.com. No other website is going to tell you that, because they know the true potential of HEX and they gatekeep it, from others knowing about it. So yeah, HEX price just went up 352x. HEX, like crypto's goal, of course, is to become, remain decentralized, and HEX does remove the middleman. HEX is really only on decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap, QuickSwap, one called 1inch. This as well. HEX has one of the largest APYs in crypto as proof of stake. And honestly, as of right now, your APY could be higher than this, depending on how much you depending on how much hex you stake and how long you stake it. But yes, it is definitely possible to have higher than 40% APY, and that is much higher than banks. As you can see, a regular bank certificate of deposit is less than 2%, but Hex average APY is 40%, and that is insane. And when you stake your Hex, of course, you earn interest every single day. Hex has 100% uptime. Um, Hex has been fully operable ever since it's been launched. Hex has had no failures, unlike other coins in the market. People consider Hex as a scam, but you know, it's made people millionaires, and yeah, Hex is a real working coin, and Hex is one of the only cryptos. It's very rare to find a crypto that is completed, and Hex is one of the only ones that is completed, that is fully operable, that doesn't have any upgrades going on like Ethereum in the future. It is complete. So yeah, that's a very unique thing about Hex. Yep, transparent trading. Hex. It is one of the most popular coins on decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap, which I talked about in my last video. Um, Hex rewards, honestly, of course, when you stake it. Um, there are tools that you can use when it comes to looking into Hex. I'll talk about those later. Um, yep, Hex is operates no matter what happens. People have used the code of Hex. Um, yeah, Hex has definitely outperformed a lot of coins in the market. 352x in the first year is insane. Hex rewards responsibility. Um, yeah, for those who stake their Hex for a long time, they get rewarded the most, of course. Hex is secure. There's been no problems with Hex, of course. Hex, low inflation. So the thing with Hex is that Hex is proof of stake, and stakers are paid to increase the price, and they are paid to hold it. But Bitcoin is proof of stake, and Bitcoin has miners. Um, every time a miner they mine a block, they receive Bitcoin, and they most likely use that to you know take it as profit, and that brings the price down. And then also proof of work. Bitcoin it requires mining equipment, and it takes a lot of energy to do that. As it says here, uh, electricity companies are hard on the environment. Yeah. And once again, Hex, you can stake it as long as 15 years. And yeah, Hex free mining hardware. Unlike Bitcoin, you don't need any extra tools to accumulate Hex when you're staking it. All you need is to buy Hex and choose how long you want to stake it, and you're good. So now I'm going to go to a port of Hex.com that really compares Bitcoin and Hex. Um, so Bitcoin once again is proof of work, unlike Hex, and instead Hex is proof of weight or proof of stake. Same thing. Um, Bitcoin increasing in price, it pays miners. Hex pays stakers. every time miners produce new Bitcoin, they get paid based on the hash rate, computing power. When they use their mining hardware. Um, hex stakers, they get paid more hex based on the amounts of shares they have, which I will get into later. Um, Bitcoin mining is the same as hex staking. The hash rate of Bitcoin is the same as the shares in hex. Um, Difficulty hash rate will be like the difficulty in computing power, but instead with hex it'll be the amount of shares and the Bitcoin. So in Bitcoin, I talked about in my proof of work video, um, miners are paid a certain amount of Bitcoin every block, um, but in Hex, it's inflation plus penalties, which I will also get into later on. Um, so network protection. Um, so Bitcoin, it relies on hash rate computing power to make it more secure. Um, and protects against 51% attacks, which I also talked about in my proof of work video. Hex share protects against HEX Price from selling, and I will also talk about that later. Just a little formula for the HEX share market cap. This here is showing a chart of Bitcoin. Um, Over time, as Bitcoin produces more blocks in this blockchain, um, mining Bitcoin becomes less and less profitable. I talked about that as well in my proof of work video. Um, so this right here, um, I'll show this on another HEX website. But this right here shows a chart of the T shares. So this is where it used to be when it was first launched, and this is where it is now. So saying that the share price used to be 56, now it's 169 dollars, and that's a pretty huge bump. So shares are a lot harder to get than when Hex first came out. So more comparisons. Bitcoin miners get paid more when other miners decide not to mine and when they don't use their hardware mining. When it comes to Hex staking, Hex stakers, they basically get paid more the less amount of people that stake. So um, the less amount of people that stake, the more interest you'll have, but the more people that stake, the less interest you'll have. And there's a bonus if HEX stakers choose not to comply with how long they're staking and choose to end it. Um, this is showing the inflation of Bitcoin. The inflation decreases, but Hex inflation phase ended within the first year. This is a chart of Bitcoin inflation versus time. This is saying that once again, staking Hex is easy, and unlike Bitcoin, you don't need any hardware, you don't need any equipment, and buying all of this, it can you know put pressure on selling Hex tokens. You're compounding your money at a very, very high APY. So Hex code, Hex excellent quality. It uses bit packing and bitwise shifts. Bit packing is basically data compression and using as less amount of bits as possible to store data. So that makes code clean. This is saying that it is considered Hex white paper. I will talk about a part of HEX white paper later in this video. Yeah, centralized security. Um, so yes, HEX. You will store your HEX on MetaMask, and you can also use Ledger and Treasure hardware wallets. I might talk about those in a later video. Um, and audits, meaning that it was viewed by somebody. Uh, so HEX is one of the first coins to have two independent security audits. Um, and you can find more information on this about. You can find more information about these on chainsecurity.com and Coin Fabric.